Yo, welcome back. This is Stu42 with another Minecraft video. Continuing on, all the mods expert. I've made a few changes since last time. I've made this building a little bit bigger, expanded it out that way. You might remember last time I had a hole sort of in the middle here, and I've moved this off to the side. So this is now our mine shaft there. And what I'm going to put in here is I'm going to put the smelting stuff that we need to use the ember for. I'm really keen to get to iron, basically. So what we were up to is this picture here is what we're aiming for. So we're going to need ember activator, ember emitter, melter, and a receptor. And there's also a tinker's hammer, not the tinker's construct hammer, but a thing called the tinker's hammer, which is from this Embers mod. So let's dive straight in. So I think I need a couple of those. I do need some copper. So the copper, like that, I believe is the hammer. Yeah, Tinker's hammer. Now, what were the recipes? Ember crystal. So that's one of those. Those, and was it copper? Yep, so there's the ember activator. 2 copper and 3 plates. Two copper and 3 plates. I'm right, like that. Slightly brain dead today. What else do we want? We want 3 plates like that with 2 copper. Oops, that one. 3 plates like that with 2 copper like that. And then this one, which is a plate copper crystal. Plate, copper, crystal, and then I think it was the camonite? No. What was down there? Am I really... we do need some camonite bricks. Like that, and the last plate that I made previously. Cool, we're going to need another lever for that. And we've got our hammer. Everything is pretty much right. I do think we're going to need ourselves a... We are going to need ourselves a hopper, potentially. Let's just... Oh, it's a sorting hopper. Don't particularly want one of those. I want some tin. There we go. There we go. Sorting hopper is interesting though. I might have to check some of that out in a while. So yeah, there's that. And then that's what we want. So we also want to grab some of this ore that we had. So we had geothite, was some magnetite, bauxite is aluminium. I think it's just those two that have uninspected. Yeah, that's probably just that, to be honest. Alright, so we are going to want the ember activator and the ember... Where are we? Ember receptor and that one there, the melter. So we're going to want to put the melter... Let's put the melter there. Awesome. And the activator here. Cool. And now what we want to do is the activator needs to have this emitter on the top half of it, and the receptor needs to go on the bottom half of that. We're going to need the lever to be on there. Cool. And then we should be able to, I think it's shift click here and then there. Right, so it's shift right click there and then right click there, and hopefully those two sounds mean that things are happy. Now there's no there's just no GUI on any of these things, which is kind of annoying. So we're going to need ourselves a hopper for that. Here we go. Ember gauge, item gauge, and fluid gauge. So we're going to need to make some of those. Now I'm going to follow the little diagram that we had here. So we had... Alright. So that's the way of getting that into there. Alright, so we're going to need to make some gauges. So, let's have a look. So we have an ember gauge, that's good. So we have copper nugget around some paper. Pretty easy stuff to make. Let's get a bunch of paper. So paper and... let's grab the nugget first. Nuggets, I should say. So there's an ember gauge, we have an item gauge which is around lead, and a fluid gauge around tin. Right, so we have some lead already. We have tin. So we want fluid gauge and item gauge. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. That should be easy. Now, back over here, what do we have? We have ember shards and crystals. Head back up in the melter to turn ember pieces into energy. Right, so I think it's any of these things. So the shards are the smaller ones, so maybe we'll start by putting some of them into there. Right, so they go in pretty easily. We have an ember gauge. Huh. You can put an... Right, so you don't actually use the gauge, you just... You just put this... Right, okay, so you put that on there. And this is a fluid gauge and an item gauge. So if we flick that... Oh, look at that. That's working quite well. Cool, so if we throw the item gauge on there, no, we don't get anything from that. So let's stick this one right on there, because we do get an ember gauge from that. So item gauge, nothing, fluid gauge, something, I guess. Now how do we throw our ore in there? Hey! Whoa, I just threw all the ore in. Okay, that's a bit interesting. What do we do with that? So this is from embers, So we've done all that, and that seems to be happening. Now, once the melter's received some ember, you can put some ore into it by right-clicking with ore on your hand. Cool. If you peek your head over the top of the melter, hopefully you'll soon see molten metal. And iron being's the only one you need to worry about. Once the molten metal, attach a fluid pump to one of the top faces and leave it to that, and connect it to a stamp base with fluid pipes. So let's... Oh, look at that. That's cool. There's some fluid in there. So we have molten iron going up. Fantastic. We are getting some iron. We're getting some iron. Alrighty. This is working out fairly well. I'm not sure. I mean, this mod seems a bit strange to me, really. So what are we going to need? We're going to need... Alright. Fluid pump. And click them to a stamp base with fluid pipes. I tell you what, I'm going to make a bunch of things and get it ready. I will be back in just a minute once I've got all this stuff together so that we know that I've got everything there, basically. So I'll see you in just a bit. Alrighty, we have made a bunch of stuff. Hopefully we've made all the right stuff. So let's cruise over here. Now, we wanted to make... I wonder how far away these things work. So one of the things that we had to do is we need to make a stamper base with a stamper, and we can put a bin underneath that as well. So I've made a bin. So let's put the bin... I don't know. Out this side somewhere? Just here, maybe? See, I don't know if I've got enough room for this, unfortunately. So let's try it anyway. So let's put the stamp base. Oh, right. Okay, we're going to need to do some trickery for this. See, now let's put it around the wrong way. I wonder if we can rotate things with the hammer. Nope. Shift clicking? Shift clicking is where it's at. Alright, so now we want to make sure that we've got our stamper above this. That looks like it should be right. This is 2 blocks above. That hopefully is enough. We've also made ourselves a plate stamp. I left the other one cooking in the oven. So one of the things we need is also the bar stamp. So I am wanting to do bars. Whoa, something's hitting me. Ah! Alright. So let's do that. We'll put the bar stamp. Okay. Maybe there? Ah, there we go. So put the bar stamp there. We have some piping that we need to use. So we have a mechanical pump. Now, where did it say? From the... Some rocking door on a handle, blah, blah. Now, you need a fluid pump to one of the top faces. So, mechanical pump there. And then we're going to need to go out. Ah, this is where we're all going to come unstuck now. So we go from there to there to there. I'm going to need to break all this up anyway. Anyway, so let's do that. Actually, we don't want that as well. We're going to want... where are we going to want it? We're going to want to put that there, which means that there is where we want that. The stamp base we want there. We're going to want that there. We're going to want the stamper there, like a piston. We want the bar stamp in there. That's now connected. Awesome. Now this is probably not the best way to lay this stuff out. I think there's probably going to be a better way. Throw that onto there. We're going to want the emitter. Now it wasn't pictured there, but it did say that we need to have an ember receptor on the stamper. So I did make one of those. So we've got the ember receptor. And we're going to need to get our thing and go shift, right click, and then right click. Still got ember in there. That should hopefully be flowing. Now if we flick the switch, we have irons flowing out of there. That's good. Irons flowing into there. That's good. Now, I wonder if that has not got enough ember. Let's throw some more into there, seeing as it seems to... Oh, there we go. Stamp. Ha! And now in here... Now that might be where we need this other gauge. So this gauge is clearly doing molten. This gauge is clearly doing nothing on there. So what happens if we throw it on there? Slot 0, 5K ironing it. Now if I just right click on it, look at that, we're getting some iron. Fantastic. Cool, so that's going to happily stamp away. This thing here is now... I need to put steps up to everything. Right, so there's still like a ton of stuff. Can I grab that? Oh, and I can grab the stuff back out as well. That's awesome. So if I leave that in there, let's make a ton of iron. Hopefully that'll be enough. This has now got enough ember. That's happily stamping away. Iron ingot. Oh yeah, and as I grab them, they're coming into there. Awesome. So that'll stop us from having to grab them. So that bin is obviously a must. Like if we don't have the bin there, that's pretty horrible. Now that's not going down much at all. But can it only go to one thing at once? Yeah, okay, so we can only smelt. Only smelt one thing at once. There's nothing in there. Unless it's just the graphics. So that's still melting, but it's disappearing straight away. So there we go. The molten iron is closing up. That's still stamping. So I think I might have hit a little bit of a bug here, because we were getting quite a bit of iron out of this 25 iron from, yeah, not a lot of magnetite at all. So I think this is actually doubling our iron pretty well. So if we shift click and then click there again and get that flowing the other way. So this is clearly stamping more stuff. So yeah, we're still stamping. We are still getting iron. We're going to have 28 iron ingots. And here we have... Yep, that's still melting stuff. So I'm going to leave this running for a while. What we can do now with our iron, though, is we can finally make 167 recipes. What I really want to do is get that next level of pick, which is the iron pick. Fantastic. Oh, there's something nasty out there. Oh, there he is. Now I found also... Oh, awesome. We hit him just enough time to get some stuff. So I found that this flint hatchet has actually got the most attack of anything you can make early game. It's better than the daggers, it's better than anything else. It's 7 attack damage. I expect they will probably fix that at some point because it does seem quite cheaty at the moment with that sort of stuff. Oh no, I'm running out of room for everything. Alright, also loving this merge button, which merges everything up that you've had already. Okay, so we can now make ourselves our first... Yay, our first iron pick, durability 250. We can then hopefully go and mine all the rest of the stuff that we need. So, let's see how this is going. Are we still melting? Maybe. Nothing on the gauge. We've got 31 iron ingots. Slot 0, none. That's still got plenty of ember. We finished stamping. Alright, so we are going to need to shift click and click that again. Unless this gauge is wrong. Yeah, so I think that gauge is not quite right for whatever reason. Shift click and click. Right, I tell you what, I'll go away one last time, 20 of those. So we've used 10 of them, that's alright. I'll go one last time and we'll see what these 20 make. I mean, we started with, I can't remember what it was, 40 or something magnetite. And we'll come back and see just how many iron comes from the magnetite. So I'll be back in just a moment once all these things have smelted, and I'll let you know how efficient this thing is, whether it's an ore doubler or what. See you in a sec. Alrighty, so one last bit before we go. We've managed to get this. Now this, I found there's a slight bug in it. I ended up with a bunch of ore that was in here that I couldn't get out, and I ended up with some liquid iron here that looked like it was there, but I think wasn't. I've logged out and logged back in, and as soon as I've logged back in, there's no more liquid there. There's no more ore in there. We do have 63 iron ingots though, out of 44 ore. So it's not ore doubling, it's kind of 1.5 times, but not really. It's like 1.5 plus a extra ingot. Well, actually no, it's more than that because I had 3 ingots there, so it's 66 ingots. So it's just over 1.5 times from the ore from magnetite. But I'm not sure what's going on there, especially with the stuff that was left in there. It was a bit all a bit strange. I don't know if I can put... No, I can't put bauxite in there. So apparently this only does basic ores, so copper, iron and gold and stuff like that, like it said in the list. But anyway, that still is a good build. We've now got iron. I can now move on with getting some stuff mined that are of the iron level, which means we can get probably our diamonds mined. And wow, this is an iron pickaxe which mines at diamond level, which means we can mine the diamonds, which means we can then mine at obsidian level, and then we can go on from there. So that's it for this time. Next time we'll probably go and do some, I don't know, maybe some storage stuff, because I'm starting to run out of room. So maybe we'll just have one of those sort of little episodes where we sort some stuff out a bit. But that's all from me. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.